Good evening, my dear young friends. Today, we are going to start a new topic, defense technology. Just like space technology, you will certainly expect at least one question. Sometimes it can go up to two questions in prelims, particularly from defense technology. Only remember, majority of the questions will not come from static information. Whatever static information has got a current development, they will certainly prepare a question from both static as well as a current development. So you will have to carefully observe from the news items every day what is the development happened in defense research segment. Any missile is getting developed, any missile is advanced by local technology, or are we buying some of the fighter aircraft from any other country? If so, what are their names and features? How it is advanced? How it is going to help the Indian military? So, like that, you should have a hawk's eye, particularly even for a small development also, you need to carefully observe, write down somewhere, and then know you put to your memory so that any question appears there, you would be comfortably answering it. Today, before going to the topic, I would tell you here there is no limit. Particularly any topic, there is no limit at all. Like it's a class syllabus, it's not clearly defined. They give a broader topic and they ask us no to be comfortable in the entire information which is relevant. The word relevant is more important. That no any information that has no died over years, no they are not worried about, which has got a value currently, and then no which is continuously no repeatedly we are hearing in the news, listening to discussions. Such kind of information only they would require. But however, to understand any development clearly, you need to have the base information. That's why we are covering a lot of information, but however, somewhere it is superficial, somewhere no, we are going in depth. But any information, every information is relevant for civil service exam. You would be really wondered in 1977, 1978, when I attempted for the first time, in the prelims, they have asked a question, what is the, that time the statements were not there. It was finding a single answer out of the multiple question, answers. No, out of the four answers, you will have to tick mark the right answer. That was the system then. They asked strangely, what is the name of the raga in Carnatic music that symbolizes the early morning? We were not knowing, we know some ragas, but no, how it is relevant to various moods and then no times. This we were not really serious. We learned at least, no, we attempted to learn ragas and then talas, jatis also. We tried to learn, thinking that a question might come from that cultural part. This was the question asked in the classroom. In the while in the exam hall, somehow I remembered a Tamil song, which no, I used to go to Tamil movies. I remembered a Tamil song. In that, it was mentioned, no, Bhupala is the raga for the morning hours. From the song I recollected, I could able to write. That's why I am quoting this is that there is no definite pattern of asking a questions no from a specific information. No, it's a very very vast information. You need to, if not master, you need to remember. Somewhere you need to understand. With this, I am entering into the topic DRDO, Defense Technology. DRDO stands for Defense Research and Development Organization of Ministry of Defense, Government of India. See, like space program, space has got ISRO, defense, all defense technology, the development and research which is required to strengthen our army, this is entrusted to this particular organization called DRDO. It is an agency of Government of India charged with the military research and development. Headquarters is in Delhi under Minister of Defense. Minister of Defense has got a minister. DRDO is answerable to the minister, in turn minister to Prime Minister. But since technically the head of the armed forces happened to be President of India, nuclear program, any war related thing, decisions have to be ratified by the President. But nuclear program, the switch for the nuclear program lies with the Prime Minister. Since it is a very strategic one, very sensitive one, every time you can't handle that. So particularly handling or not taking a decision on releasing the nuclear weapons on other countries, the decision power vests with the Prime Minister. Well, I told you, you have army, you have air force, you have navy, but how do you strengthen them? You want them to fight with their hands? No. They are required, lot of things are required, like artillery is required. Artillery is nothing but the guns, no, various type of guns they carry, the army carries, and you fit to the vehicles, you fit to the tanks. At the same time, you fit to the naval vessels and aircraft. These are all called artillery types of guns. Here you can remember Bofors guns, a major scandal, no, sometime back it happened. It even diminished the image of a long-standing party. Many leaders were at least they were alleged to be tainted. Such that is one of the such kind of guns. Either we develop from here or we import from other countries, but that is called artillery. Second, various types of vehicles are required. You need tanks, you need movement trucks, you need weight carrying, load carrying trucks. You need very small vehicles to cross small bridges. When temporarily a bridge is constructed by the army, you need to have a very strong vehicle which can pass from one area to area swiftly. At the same time, it should be really sturdy, strong. Such various kinds of vehicles are required to carry the movement of goods, movement of manpower, movement of arsenal. So vehicles is another area where development is required. Then to protect our territorial waters, and then any foreign vessel is coming to attack us, you need vessels as well as submarines. Submarines are the vessels, fighter vehicle. It can be used for any purpose, but submarines are the underwater vehicles which can carry warfare, at the same time which can also be used for various purposes. These submarines can be nuclear also. Nuclear submarines, they are there. That is the current trend. Then aircraft, you require various kinds of aircraft. Aircraft also should be really strong, precision. At the same time, aircraft should be able to carry missiles along with them, and then some kind of guns with them, some kind of bombs with them. Facilities should be made in the aircraft for all these provisions. That is why a lot of research is required for in aircraft area also. Then missiles is one of the major aspect. This missile is the one like gun. gun has to be carried by somebody or it has to be placed somewhere and then you will fire it. But a missile is one thing. There are nuclear missiles, there are no other kinds of decisive missiles. Exactly, rocket technology is used in the missiles. You can send these missiles with a warhead to a very pretty longer distances as far as 10,000 kilometers. From sitting here, if you have a missile, if you have a missile launching system, you can destroy a country which is 5,000 kilometers away from you, which is even 10,000 kilometers away from you. These are called missiles. Missiles can be used for a shorter range targets. It can destroy a frigate. Missile can destroy an area. Missile can destroy a target on the land. It can destroy a target which is flying in the air. It can destroy a target which is on the sea. So, major development has happened in Indian research. Major development has happened in missile technology. As soon as we developed self-sufficiency in rocket technology, when PSLV, SLV, PSLV, all these things were developed, they thought the same rocket technology can be used in missile technology also. Instead of sending a particular payload into the space, they can send a payload, instead of a payload, a warhead which has a potential to destroy a particular area. Uh, uh, that warhead, instead of a satellite, a warhead can be sent to the target for destruction. This has become a very strategic point in warfare, modern warfare. Quickly, I will read out now some of the submarines we have developed. Sindhu Ghosh is one of the submarine. This is a diesel engine which we have taken from Russia. After that, Arihant is the submarine name which we have developed indigenously in Vizag. The Arihant was built. Arihant has got an advanced technology vehicle program. It was built in a shipbuilding center in Visakhapatnam. Some of the things now I am only citing only to show you the variation, but about these things now we will study in little detail manner now in our subsequent classes. I am only touching a few aircrafts which are developed indigenously by DRDO. LCA Tejas is one of the thing. It's a single engine LCA Tejas light combat aircraft. LCA means light combat aircraft. This is developed in Bangalore. This is HAL Bangalore. It's a light fighter aircraft. It's fitted given to the Air Force and Navy. This will be used only when the target is nearing to you within 20 kilometers. If it's coming very near to you, then this LCA aircraft will be used to destroy the enemy aircraft when it comes to so close distance. This is a light combat aircraft which is developed indigenously by HAL Bangalore. It is in our Indian Air Force as well as Navy. Then similarly, a helicopter which is called Chinook, a helicopter which has the capacity to lift the heaviest loads. Lot of material is to be taken, carried from one place to other places when war is going on, to help the army when they are moving from place to place. Lot of payloads, lot of material which will be used in warfare will be sent through this Chinook helicopter. Some of the things now I have quoted, but however, today in our lecture, our total focus is on missile technology. What are the missiles we have? what are no variations in missiles, how do they operate, and then now all those things we will learn about it. Missile technology, a missile, you simply remember a rocket. What is a missile? Missile is a guided thing which has got a propulsion. It's a flying weapon which is designed to take a warhead along with it to a specific target, and then it destroys the target with precision. Okay. What will be there in this? There will be a warhead in the front, just like now the area where we fit the satellite for a rocket. Here we fit the warhead. Warhead can be anything. Warhead can be a nuclear destructive material, or it can be filled with a conventional gunpowder. Anything which is planned, seeing the size and then know the vastness of the target, enemy target. So simply remember, this is like a rocket. In the front, it carries a warhead. Behind that, there will be control and guidance system. Guidance system means where this, in which direction the missile has to move, up to what angle it has to go, where it has to take a deflection, how many kilometers it has to move. Likewise, a computer guides the movement of the missile. When it is carrying a warhead, it totally guides the movement of the vehicle. It is a computerized, totally guided to reach the target precisely without missing a target. Then there should be an engine, fuel should be there, and now few wings will be there. 1, 2, 3, 4 wings will be there. So wings and then an engine and fuel to burn and give thrust to it. Then there is a guidance system which controls the movement of the missile. And then on the beginning of it, top of it, it carries a warhead. Warhead can be anything. It carries a warhead which has the potential to destroy the enemy target when it is launched, either from the sea or from a vehicle or from land. It releases the missile, no, goes like a rocket. It gets guidance from its internal parts, and then it touches the enemy target and destroys it. Simply remember, it acts like it. These are the parts, no, of a missile. Then, what are the missile types? How many types of missiles are there? Classification of missiles based on their types. There are two types majorly. One is a cruise missile, second is a ballistic missile. Cruise missile, cruise missile is one. It can be the motion of the missile is almost no parallel to the earth. Though you send it like a rocket, it goes into the air and then it takes a deflection. From there, it carries almost no horizontally parallel to the earth's surface, and ultimately it reaches its target. There, it starts descent and then now reaches the target. You will have to remember 4 characters, differences between cruise missile and then now ballistic missile. Cruise missile, it is low atmosphere. It flies in the low atmosphere range. That means no, the distance from Earth will be less. it will be 50 kilometers, 60 kilometers like that. It will not go beyond the atmospheric level. But whereas ballistic missile now goes beyond the atmosphere and then again comes back to the atmosphere. Here, it travels, cruise missile travels totally in the atmospheric region, that too low heights. Second is, it moves parallelly to the ground. Third is, it is continuously motor operates till it reaches the target. That means no, the propulsion of the rocket, propulsion of the missile is from beginning to the end. There is no stopping of the engine, right? Then it travels very smoothly in air or water, both. Both. It can be launched from air, it can be launched from the soil, it can be launched in the water also. This is the cruise vessel, cruise missile. Here, cruise missile, example is BrahMos, BRAHMOS. BrahMos is the BrahMos 1, 2, 3. There are no many varieties of BrahMos. BrahMos series is the example for cruise missile. BrahMos is nothing but Brahmaputra plus Moscow. It's a collaborative effort of India and USSR. BrahMos, Brahmaputra from Moscow, Brahmaputra plus Moscow is BrahMos. BrahMos is a cruise missile. It is endo-atmospheric. It will not go beyond the atmospheric levels. It runs parallelly to the ground. From the beginning till the end, the propulsion will be continued. It is a guided missile. The accuracy of cruise missile is very accurate. It is 100% accurate. If you decide the target, it touches the target, it destroys the target. But similarly, ballistic missile is not that accurate. It will be almost there it goes, almost it destroys that area. That is why any specific target is there, which is of a little vastness. BrahMos is preferred. Cruise missile is preferred so that you are pinpointedly destroying a target. Suppose a particular house is there after 100 kilometers. You are pinpointedly locating the house and then releasing this cruise missile. It certainly destroys that house. It will not lose its target. But whereas a particular city is to be destroyed, then you will use ballistic missile because it has got it will not hit the target where it is clearly intended. If it's a broader area, then ballistic missile will be used. Now I told you the salient features of cruise missile. I am moving to ballistic missile, the salient features of ballistic missile. Simply, you take there in the cruise missile, the movement of the missile is parallel to the ground, but here it takes a parabola shape. That means it goes to the it goes like you throw a stone, it goes to a certain height, and then it reaches the ground. Likewise, it's a parabola kind of a movement will be there for ballistic missile. Why I am saying parabola, what happens here is that here the motor, when you reach the peak height, it goes to the peak height, it crosses the atmospheric. This is exoatmospheric missile. I told you cruise missile is endo-atmospheric. It will not leave the atmosphere. It travels in a low atmospheric ranges. But whereas ballistic missile is exoatmospheric, it crosses the atmospheric regions and then reaches a particular height, then stop dropping down to the target. When it reaches the peak height, the motor functions will be stopped. From there, the all in cruise missile, what happens? Entire missile, whatever we have target from here, entire thing crashes onto the target. But here in ballistic missile, stage 1, stage 2, stage 3, 4, 5, like that, parts will be, as soon as the thrust is there, then the motor drops down. Only when it reaches the maximum height, the descent to the target is through gravity of the earth, and then only warhead descends onto the target, not the entire rocket. I think I am clear. One, it takes a parabola shape. Second is, that means projectile motion. Second is, once you release, second is, it will not, the engine will not work from beginning to the end. When it reaches the maximum height, engine stops. All engines and then no fuel parts get disentangled. From the peak height, only the warhead start descending onto the target. Descent of the target is decided by the gravity of the earth. Then in cruise missile, since you can control during the flight, you can deflect, you can stop, and now you can control the flight. Once you release it, because through guidance system, you will be stopping it. You can now stop motor, so that the height and everything that can be controlled even in the middle also. But here in the ballistic missile, you cannot control the flight movement during the, you cannot control the missile during the flight. Once you release it, over. It automatically it goes to the target, intended target. You cannot alter its course in between. That is one more difference. So let us understand the differences between these two once again. Though it is now a repetitive one, I want you to understand the differences, because every time in our further study, we'll be studying about this is a cruise missile, this is a ballistic missile, along with a name, we are now stating what type of a missile it is. That's why you should be able to understand very clearly. Cruise missile is parallel, movement is parallel to the earth. Ballistic missile, projectile motion, that is parabola. Cruise missile travels only in the atmosphere, low atmospheric heights. Ballistic missile leaves the atmosphere and then comes back to the atmosphere. Then cruise missile, it can be controlled during the flight. Ballistic missile cannot be controlled during the flight. And then cruise missile is very accurate in reaching the target. Ballistic missile is not that accurate in reaching the target. Then cruise missile acts on the propulsion and the engine. It reaches its target. Ballistic missile reaches its target due to the gravity of the earth. BrahMos is the example for cruise missile, and Prithvi series, Agni series, Dhanush, these three are the examples for ballistic missile. The very name ballistic means it's related to the gravity. That's the meaning. Well, then we move further. This is one type of classification. These are two general types of missiles we have. Now we will go a little further. There can be another classification also, where the missiles, based on their launch mode, missiles can be again classified. It can be ballistic, it can be cruise missile. I am not particular, but all these missiles you can place from surface to surface, one area to other area on land. You can launch it from surface, that means no, land to the air, you can use. Land to the sea, you can use. Air to air also, within the air, for air by fitting into an aircraft. No, you can destroy another aircraft, no, which is enemy aircraft coming in the air. You can you can fit now one of the missiles to our aircraft. You can go into the air and shoot the enemy aircraft. Air to air also. Sea to sea, air to surface, sea to surface. These are all no various methods, no, based on the launch. You can use these missiles. Surface to surface, Agni is example. Surface to air, Akash is the name of the missile. Surface to sea, here BrahMos. Air to air is called Astra. Air to surface, there are anti-radiation missiles. Sea to sea, Varunastra torpedo. Varunastra, Varun means related to rain god. So Varunastra, Astra is air to air missile. Sea to sea missile is Varunastra. Sea to surface is also called Varunastra. That means no, it's emanating from the sea, Varunastra. There are anti-tank missiles. Anti-tank missile is called Nag, N-A-G, Nag. Apart from all these things, there are no, on a shoulder you will carry a man portable anti-tank missiles, guided missiles are there. A soldier carries this portable anti-tank guided missile on his shoulder, and then now he shoots. He shoots against a tank. These are also there. These are various kinds of missiles based on know how you launch, where from where. The target, where you fix a target, and to destroy a target, where from you will launch a missile. See, these things, the entire thing is only to remember. There will be many names coming, but you will have to see these kind of variations are there. That's it. And what is the range of the missiles? Ballistic missiles range is, there is medium range, a short range is there. Up to 1000 kilometers distance, you can reach a target. Agni 1 is example. There are medium range up to 5000 kilometers. Agni 2 to 4, 2, 3, 4 come under this range because their functioning is same, mechanism is same, but no, only the distance, the energy, the efficiency of the missile, simply the principle is same, mechanism is same. You give more fuel, it goes to more distance. It's as simple as that. Agni 2, 3, 4, they reach up to the distance of 5000 kilometers. Then above 5500 kilometers is called intercontinental ballistic missile. This is important. ICBM. Intercontinental ballistic missile is called when the distance of the target is above 5500 kilometers. In our Agni series, Agni 5 is capable, can be termed as intercontinental ballistic missile because it reaches beyond 5500 kilometers. Agni 6 is being developed now, which has a reach of 10,000 kilometers. Wherever you find a word tactical, all these missiles can be tactical. Tactical means the range is short and it has to carry only conventional warhead. That means filled with gunpowder. When a particular missile is used to send for shorter distances with a conventional warhead, that particular deployment is called tactical. Tactical means a particular area, a designated thing is there. Tactical means no, through through tact, you are destroying the target because it's no within your reach. For this, no warhead. No warhead will not be nuclear. It will not be very advanced. But here, you will use conventional warhead like gunpowder. This is called tactical. Some of the missiles now, which we will be discussing further in our continuous lecture, that is called no. Somewhere you will find the word tactical. That's why to understand what is a tactical one, now I am giving you advanced information. Well, the classification I told you based on the distances, the area it reaches, that is one kind of a classification. Then, based on their propulsion, now what kind of an engine you are using in the missile, based on that also you can describe, you can now designate as a ramjet and scramjet. A ramjet engine is nothing but you are not keeping a turbine there inside that engine area. It lacks a turbine. Normally what happens when fuel is ignited, the heat waves generated will go to the turbine. It rotates the turbine so that no necessary thrust will come to the missile to move ahead. Now here in this process, in ramjet engine, turbine will not be there. What happens? The outside air enters inside, it gets heated up, it gives necessary thrust to the missile to move ahead. That is called ramjet. Whereas in a scramjet engine, the turbine will be there.